New York just came up with the idea, instead of laying down rat poison that's killing everything that's hungry for us, like animals and wildlife like that, they just gonna give the rats birth control. I don't know how they're gonna do it. I think they're gonna be using something called Flaco. I could be wrong, but this shit crazy. In a minute, America is gonna be run by fucking rats if they don't put these rats on birth control. This shit just sounds crazy as hell to me. Y'all check this shit out and let me know what y'all think.
Passed a new bill that will allow the use of birth control on rats. The pilot program will first start in a small section of the city within about 180 days, and the measure is aimed to help save wildlife and was inspired by Flaco, the Eurasian owl who died as a result of rat poison. Joining us now to discuss is Rita McMahon, director of the Wild Bird Fund. Rita, welcome. Good to have you with us.
Thank you very much, Chris.
So let me ask you, what impact does this rodenticide have on birds like Flaco?
The impact of rodenticide poisoning is devastating. As they eat each rat, they ingest more and more of the rodenticide poisoning, and it builds up. And there are 4 different types of rodenticide poisoning that was found in Flaco, and one was a fatal level.
So how often are birds like Flaco found with poison in their body? And can anything be done, once they've ingested any of these poisons to kind of reverse that so they don't end up having the same fate as Flaco?
Yes, a lot can be done. And when the birds come to us, we immediately start them on vitamin K. And they get injections through the day to stop the internal bleeding. That's what they die from. The anticoagulant form of rodenticide poisoning just lets them bleed out. And so with vitamin K, we can help them. The sad news is that the DEC did necropsies on any dead red-tailed hawk or raptor that was sent to them, and over 80% had rodenticide poisoning in low levels or high levels and died from it.
So what can be done here? Because obviously, rats, rodents, that's a big problem, in this city, and there's a rat czar, and they're doing all they can to try to get rid of the rat population. But as we're talking about here, it's having an effect on the bird population. So where is that kind of that middle ground?
There has to be another way to deal with the rats, and the raptors themselves deal with them very well, but we shouldn't be poisoning those very animals that are keeping them at bay. And with this pilot program, we're hopeful that could be a wonderful way to rid ourselves of rodenticide poisoning.
And does the city seem receptive to opening, I guess, their minds to some other ideas, or is it just like we're just going to poison them and just try to flush them out that way?
No, they're very receptive, particularly thanks to Flaco. And who wants that? We want to enjoy. They're the most exciting bird we see in New York, and to be killing them at the same time is not what we want to do.
Well, let me ask you this. How big, I guess, how much was this on your radar before a popular bird like Flaco kind of brought it to the forefront, and now there's Flaco's Law? But this has been going on, I'm assuming, for years.
It has been going on for years. It's quite awful. During the high season, it'll be a bird a week that dies from it. We do our best to save the others, and we do pretty well with it. But it's just remove that source. If this pilot program works, everyone will be happy.
And let me just ask you, should someone come across a bird who is sick, what should they do?
They should, if they can call it in to us and to New York City Bird Alliance, and someone from the raptor team will actually get them. And in many cases, the birds are down for the count, and they could be picked up if they have the guidance of how to pick them up. And we're very happy to do that.
Well, Rita, thank you for taking a few moments for us. We do appreciate it. Rita McMahon, director of the Wild Bird Fund here in the city. We do.